might sound a stupid question, but if you're new to any sport, it can be difficult to know where to start. And just because most of us have the ability to run, becoming a runner is a very different matter. So whether you're coming from a competitive level in another sport, you're returning from injury, or you're just purely trying to use running to get fit, we're going to guide you from wherever your starting point is all the way through to being able to complete a 5K run. When walking, most of us will land with a heel strike out in front of the body, then your weight rolls over your foot, leaving off your toes, while simultaneously repeating that on the other leg. With running, however, your whole body will leave the ground between every stride. So therefore, your foot's going to land more underneath you, changing the biomechanics of your foot strike. Now, don't worry about the science on this. My point is the fact that running is very different to walking, and therefore you are going to need to build into it gradually. There are a few key points to think about whilst running. Use your arms, they're there to help with propulsion whilst balancing out the movement of running. And if you are used to power walking, then you'll already be familiar with this type of movement. The next point is your body position. As you move from walking into jogging, you'll naturally find that you'll tilt forwards. But I want you to try and imagine that you've got a straight line from your ankles to your head, and that's just slightly on a forwards tilt, but keeping your hips nice and in line with that. And then finally, this one is easier said than done, but try and relax. So drop your shoulders, let your arms swing naturally, and most importantly, remember to breathe. I'm going to presume for this video that you've already got a good base level of fitness and that you can manage 30 minutes of brisk walking comfortably. Well, the aim is to be able to run a 5K continuously in 8 weeks' time. But in order to reach that, we are going to need to mix in some running and walking intervals into our session plan. So let's have a look at the first 4 weeks and the sessions suggested. You're going to be doing 3 to 4 sessions per week, so make sure you spread them out and fit them around your plans. And this first week, you have 3 runs, and to keep it simple, they're all going to be the same. So sticking to the 3 sessions, it's just increasing in length a little this week. So don't worry about the pace that you're running. Try to enjoy it and think about staying with good form, relaxing your shoulders and breathing well. It is still only 3 runs this week, but you have an extra walk that's added in. So this will give you more time on your feet and help to build that endurance. Spread your 2 30-minute sessions apart, as they are the biggest of the 2 sessions, and try to space out all of your runs throughout the week so that your leg muscles have time to recover and adapt, and therefore get stronger. This week signifies the halfway marker. You've passed the hardest part, starting a new program and sticking to it. Now you just need to continue with this momentum and remember your end goal. This week does include your longest run to date, so break it down in your mind. It is still only 2 minutes of running at one time. The shorter runs are also a step up in duration of constant jog time, so remember to find your rhythm and run at the pace that you are comfortable with. I touched on it very briefly earlier. You are going to be using your muscles in different ways to what you're used to. So you might be recruiting and engaging some muscles that maybe have even been dormant for a little while. So as a result of this, it's not unusual to feel your legs aching a little bit and maybe even being slightly sore, but this is okay. It means that your muscles are working, and as a result, they're going to be getting stronger. So just to make sure that you maintain your flexibility and that you prevent any injury, it's a good idea to incorporate some basic stretches. So for more ideas on this, we've actually made a video on 8 key stretches, which you'll be able to find in the link at the end of this video. Doing some basic level strength work or core activation exercises will help with your progression to being able to run 5K, as well as making you a more efficient runner. So incorporating something like the plank exercise, trying to hold that for 30 seconds, will just help engage your core, and that helps with your posture when it comes to running. And then as for strength work, anything that involves your legs and all of the muscles, so doing some squats in the gym or bodyweight squats at home will even help. And then if you can progress that to single leg exercises, such as a single leg squat or single leg calf raises, well, that will make it even more relevant to progressing your running. Well, anyway, now it's time to look at the next and final 4 weeks of your running program. You've only got 3 weeks left of training, so it's important to stick to the plan at this stage. You've built that solid foundation, and now we're taking it up a level in order to get you ready for this upcoming 5K. If you follow the training up to here, you'll find the increase in these 3 runs should just stretch you a little, but will be perfectly achievable. So you might be fearing this week, 2 of your runs include a continuous 20-minute jog. If you find it easier, run on your own and entirely at your pace. The action of jogging is the important part here, not the speed. Even if you feel you could walk faster, continue to run, as this will train your legs and promote muscle memory for running. The last bit of training, you're so almost there. And the fact that you've got this far is great. You're only 3 sessions away from running that targeted 5K. It'll come as no surprise by now that the overall length and ratio of run to walk have been upped again. Get through this week and you'll be giving yourself the perfect preparation for your 5K. Remember to give yourself rest between these longer runs, so try to spread out the 55-minute ones apart with the 40-minute somewhere in the middle of the week. It's week 8, you've done the hard work, and now it is time to attempt to jog continuously for 40 minutes. And if you have entered a 5K event, you should now be prepared to run that continuously. If you are new to running, then there are some other things to consider, and footwear and clothing are quite important. Footwear is vital to make sure you've got the correct support for your foot, but also that it's going to encourage the correct running gait. So if you've got a running shop near you, it is worth going in and speaking to them where they can hopefully analyse your gait and give you the correct shoe. And it might seem like an expensive investment at the time, but trust me, it is worth it in the long run. Clothing is less important than your footwear, but still the key is to be comfortable and have something that actually makes you want to go running. So if you are buying a new piece of kit, look for something that's sweat wicking and check out the fit, but also maybe look at forums online, because you want to make sure just because something feels good in the shop, it's not actually going to chafe or rub when it comes to running. The great thing about running, you can pretty much do it anywhere. Running on pavements and sidewalks is the most obvious. Just watch out for other road users and of course road crossings. But if you do have specific running paths or routes, then that's obviously far better. And if you can run off-road or on grass, then that will really help to activate all those smaller muscles around your lower leg and your foot, which will in turn help your running in the long run. So try to mix this in whenever you can. And if you do find yourself doing a lot of running on a camber, so on a pavement or a road that's got a slight angle to it, make sure that you run in both directions, because you don't want to use your muscles only in one direction. You want to keep everything nice and even to prevent any injuries. Once you're comfortable completing a 5K of continuous running, you might well want to consider progressing this further, whether that's increasing your distance or your speed or a combination of both. Well, when it comes to distance, again, continue to up this gradually, and it's fine to still implement that run-walk strategy that you've been using until now. And as for speed, well, you want to actually include some intervals in your training. So you can start off by still doing your steady jog and then maybe picking a landmark ahead of you, like a lamppost, running as hard as you can to that, and then going back to your steady jog and repeating this throughout your run. You do need to be patient when building up your running, irrelevant of what level you're starting from. Think of it as putting in some foundation blocks. Consistency is key. Once you've got that strong base, you can then build on it and you can progress with your running speed and distance much quicker. And most importantly, remember, running is fun. So why not find some friends that can join you on that mission to reach your 5K goal? Well, hopefully you've enjoyed this. Hit the thumb up like button if you have. And to make sure you get all of our videos here at GTN, just hit the globe to subscribe. And if you like the look of this kit, then you can get this on the GTN shop by just clicking on the link on the screen. And as I mentioned earlier, those 8 key stretches are in the video just down here. And if you are about to buy a new pair of running shoes and you want a little bit of guidance, then we've made a video for that just here.